Hey guys, welcome to my channel Linux King. My name is Salman Francis, and in today's video we will take a look at how we can make a Docker's volume persistent. And the reason behind is that whenever we create a Docker container, the data, whenever we create some directory or the file in it, the data is not persistent. This means that if we delete the container, the data also gets deleted. But there are certain ways to prevent this to happen. So today I'm going to show you two ways. And the first way is that we can mount the directory from our host machine to the Docker container. And the second way is to create the volume. So let's start. Before we go further, first of all, I would like to show you that what commands we are going to use. So to check those commands, we are going to take some help from Docker with docker-help. And if you just go to under management command, you can see that there's a command known as command called volume. So if we type docker volume --help, we can see that it has further like subcommands as create the volume, inspect the volume, list the volume, and so on. So if we list the volume, docker volume ls, we can see that we have a local volume right now and nothing else. So I'm going to clear the screen and check if any container is running. So right now we don't have any container running. Okay, so let's go to our home directory, and here I'm going to create a new folder called data 10. And in this data 10, I'm going to create some file with some data. Okay, and so we have two files, okay, with some data in it. Okay, and the working directory is /home/data. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a container, docker run-it, name this container as it pings volume, and I want to create it from CentOS, and I want a bash shell. Okay, now if I list this and if I go to home, you can see we don't have any mount point or any directory created here. So I'm just going to quit this container, Control C, exit. And we don't have any container running, okay? But if let's create another container, but this time we are going to use -v option. -v means to mount the directory. Okay, first we need to mention the source, and the source is /home data 10. And then with the colon need to mention the destination. Okay, you can see that data CentOS, I'm not sure if it's available in that container. If it's not, it's going to create one. So let's do that, press enter. And now we can see that we are in our CentOS container. Here you can see that it's CentOS 7 core. And if I go to /home, I can see that a data CentOS has been created. So if I go into this directory, I can see all my files, get the content, and it's there. So perfect. Okay, now what will happen if I delete this container? So let's exit out of it. Okay, and I am going to check if the container is running or not. It's not, and I'm going to remove this Docker container, and it pings volume 10. So docker rm it pings volume 10, and you can see that the container is deleted. And now if I go to /home, I still have my data with all the content of the file intact. Perfect. So this is one way to create a persistent volume. Another way to create a persistent volume is by creating the volume itself. So what is the difference between a mount point and the volume? I'll just show you, but let me first create this volume. So in order to create a volume, I'm going to create Docker create volume salvol, let's say. Okay. Sorry, it's volume create. Docker volume create salvol. Okay, now if I list Docker volume ls, you can see that salvol is created. Okay, now what is the difference between this volume and the mount point? So first, let me add some, and how I can add data to it. So let me first show you by creating a container and mounting this volume to that container. So we will go and create the same container. Let's call this time this container as volume 10, and I am going to mount salvol only, and to some, let's say, other location, data 30. Okay, here you can see I have not given it an absolute path. Okay, I just mentioned salvol and it will mount it. If I go to home, and here you can see it's available, but how I can add data to it? So let's Control P and Control Q. Our container is still running. Docker ps. You can see our container is running. Okay. Now the difference is this volume. If we go to Docker inspect, Docker volume inspect salvol, you can see that the mount point is in var lib docker volume salvol data. Okay, so here we need to go to this place. So if I go to /var lib docker volumes salvol, so here, okay, one more time. So here you can see that this is the volume which we created. Okay, and now to add some data to it, I just need to go to this directory and create a file. Okay, and let's go some content. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to attach with our running volume. So Docker ps, it's running. So I'm going to Docker attach with it pings vol 11, and now we have that file and the content. Perfect. So what will happen if I delete this file from here? Okay, so now we have deleted the file. So let's go and check back that if it's deleted, you can check, you can see that we have deleted it. Okay, now let's go back, Control P, Control Q, and if we go to the same directory, you can see that the data is deleted from here as well. However, if we create a file again and add some content, to that file and attach to the container, we will have our file or the content back. Now this time, if I exit the container, okay, this means that the container has been stopped. It's not working. And if I even delete the container, the data should be intact. Okay, so now what was the difference between the mount point and the volume which we created? The difference is that with the mount point, you can mount any directory, and you have to give the absolute path. And whereas with this volume creation, you don't need to give any absolute path. However, the data is stored in /var/lib/docker/volumes. And then the respective name which you have created as a volume, and in that directory then you need to go to _data directory and your data will be saved there. But be sure to understand that if you delete data from your container, the data gets deleted from either mount point or from the volume directory which you have created. You can check that yourself. So I hope now you guys have a better understanding between and how you can make Docker's volume persistent and what is the difference between the mount point and the volume. So thank you very much. Please do subscribe to my channel and keep coming back to my channel for more videos. And until then, goodbye and have a great day.